friends, it's Kim here today, and today I have 5 really easy and cheap things that you can easily find at Amazon or your local grocery store to really elevate and make your bento super cute. I have to say that I did buy some of this stuff in Japan. Obviously, I go back every year, every couple of years, so some of this stuff is from Japan. But the internet is really awesome and you're able to find all this really awesome equipment on there. Just in case you guys didn't want to make this purchase, I understand that some people don't want to make the investment in certain tools, or maybe that tool isn't right for them, or maybe they don't think they're going to use that tool enough to justify buying it. So I did include 5 additional things that are alternatives to the 5 original things. So I'm going to show you both, and the 5 alternatives are very easy to find in every single grocery store, and you probably already actually have them in your kitchen, and that's why I hope that this video will be really helpful for you. So let's get into it. So the first tool I'm going to talk about today is cookie cutters. So cookie cutters are really easy to find anywhere, really, your local grocery store. I got these off of Amazon. I like mine to be on the fairly smaller side because I like to cut vegetables and stuff like that out of them. For some people, even big cookie cutters can be really helpful. So for example, in the tulip video that I just posted, I use cookie cutters to cut the actual parts of the flowers, and you can of course use them with a knife and you can cut it that way. I do have to say that cookie cutters are probably the hardest things to replace because of course it's hard to cut things with a heart. The way that you can really replace cookie cutters, it sounds pretty simple, but it's a knife. So you kind of want to get a knife that's on the smaller side to easily cut with precision. But cookie cutters are actually very inexpensive. Like these, I think I got like a set of 5 or 6 of these on Amazon for like probably, I don't know, $8 or $9. They're a really easy way to make it look like you put a lot more effort into your bento than you really did. Just very easy to do, and I would really suggest buying some of these just because it's a lot easier than trying to cut out with a knife or anything like that. The second thing I really recommend that you get for your bento is skewers or some sort of bento pick, they're called. So for these ones, I like to put things like cherry tomatoes or like sliced up cucumbers. You know, they're kind of like mini shish kebabs, and they're really simple and easy because sometimes they have cute little animals at the top, or they have something like this which is just very simple, like a little ball at the top. And so it's a really easy way to just pop things on and then stick them in your bento, and it also looks like you put in more effort than you really did. And then the other kind of skewer that I do have is these little picks. So for these ones, you can put them, like you can stick it in your rice, you can stick it in your vegetables, and it's just an easy way for people to eat the little vegetables, or it could just simply be decoration. And they're very small and very cute. There's so many diverse ways to use these. Again, these are very cheap and easy to get off of Amazon. Of course, things like this would be a little harder at your local grocery store. And what I would recommend if you don't want to buy these is to make your own. So the easiest way is to use things like toothpicks. And toothpicks are actually very easy to decorate, and so what you can do is you can get a toothpick and you can put some sort of colored tape like washi tape on it and make it into cute designs. You can color it with like Sharpie at the top or something just to decorate it. So I would really recommend doing something like that, and I'm actually planning on doing a video soon on how to actually make cute skewers and cute picks for your bento. So that's a really easy DIY thing, but again, if you don't want to put in that much effort, I would of course recommend getting these picks. The third thing that I want to show you guys is bento punches. I just call them like bento stamps, bento punchers, whatever you want to call them really. They're probably a little more expensive on like Amazon. I mean, they can't be really that much. Like I think I got a set of 3 of these for like $10. And so this one has like a cute little face that you can use. And this one, I have a lot of little ones like this. This one's kind of like in the shape of a bear. So these are great, of course, if you make like little rice balls, you can stick a face on them. For these, if you want to like have a pattern on your rice, or if you want to cut out little things like, you know, cucumber skin or something and just have it patterned somewhere, these are really super easy, also very easy ways to impress your friends, and really cheap in my opinion. But if you aren't able to buy something like this, or if you don't think it's going to be useful for you, I would really recommend using things like your knives again. That's a really easy way. You can use things like straws. So for example, one of my videos, I made a bento that has these little goldfish and they have these eyes. And so what I did is I just took a sheet of seaweed and then I took a straw and I poked a hole in it basically and then made it round. And of course you have to do it a few times to make sure it's the shape you want. And then I popped it onto the eyes of the fish. And that's sort of what I did instead of using a bento stamper, just because I thought that would be easier and more accessible to more people. The scissors are a really easy way to make different shapes you want. Of course, you have to be a little, nimble and pretty good at being able to cut out these shapes. So for example, for this one, the little guy with the eyes, I would say the mouth would be pretty easy, but the eyes would be a little trickier just because they're small. And maybe if you're really talented with scissors, of course you can attempt doing that. For me, I could probably do it, but of course it takes half a second to stick a sheet of nori in here, stamp it, and then you're done, versus sitting around and using scissors. But again, if it's not in your budget and if you have the time and if you actually want to make shapes that you're not able to find online, it's a really good option. So my fourth thing that I want to show you guys is something called Barans, or I call them like separators. I think of them as like little walls between my food. So that's just these little plastic grass things. So I actually reuse and wash mine because I don't like to throw these things out. So these are very easy to just pop in your bento between things you don't want to touch, basically. So I find it really easy to just pull these out of a drawer, stick them in there, and then I just hand wash them later very carefully. And yeah, they're great for multiple uses. And like I said, they have things that aren't just grass shaped, so you could definitely look online to see what other shapes that would be really interesting to you. And in terms of replacing that, what I like to do is to grab something like spinach or kale, and instead of sticking this thing between everything, I'll take a few leaves of spinach and kale and just put them and make that sort of a natural, artificial separation, I guess. So I like to have that little extra nutrients, that pop of green color, while also protecting all of my food. So that's another cheaper option, and of course it's more edible, definitely more environmentally friendly, so if you're able to do that, I would really recommend that as being an alternative. And finally, I have these little food cups that I like to use a lot, and this is something that you'll see a lot in Japanese bentos. Extremely reusable, they're not meant to be used and thrown away. You reuse them multiple times, forever. And so what I like to do is put things like berries, cherry tomatoes, other little things. Sometimes I put my chicken in here, and that way that it'll be more protective. So if something is like a little more crumbly, or if it's like resting or something, this is a really great way to be able to protect the other food around the bento. And what's really neat is that they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and again, this is very cheap, like under $10 on Amazon. So I have these little tiny cupcake liners. I think I actually got these in Japan, but the dollar store, I think. But these are just a lot tinier. And then also, we have ones that are in really cute shapes. So I got a pack of 3, I think, for like $5 or $6 on Amazon, I think. And so this one is like a pink 4-leaf clover, and this one's a little cherry blossom. And it's a really cute way to add some color to your bento also. So of course there aren't as many natural things that are like a hot pink. So if you wanted like an extra pink pop in your bento, something like that would be really great to add. This is a really easy switch out, is just using cupcake liners. So these ones are from the grocery store that I bought. So the downside of this is that it's not reusable, especially with the paper ones. So it's definitely the less eco-friendly way. But if you're just making a couple of bentos for someone and you don't want to like go online and buy these plastic reusable ones, this is a really great alternative to that. And it's super easy to just pop in, and I think a lot of people have these around, so this is something that you probably don't even need to buy at the grocery store. Like, you might just already have these in your kitchen somewhere. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please like and comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any other really creative alternatives to what I just mentioned, I would love to know. I would also love to know if you have your own top 5 bento tools that you really like to use that you think other people could benefit from. I would love your feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!